Hello everybody out there and welcome to our channel Little Big Builders. We are very glad that you found this video and we hope that you enjoyed the introduction. Today we take you on a journey where we transformed an unorganized cave with lots of stuff, probably looking like most of the caves, into a nice workspace. To provide you with a little bit of perspective, our cave is located at the very end of this long corridor. The owner's caves are situated in a building with 7 apartments. An important fact you can see is that toward the end of the corridor there is a high ceiling. This was key for us when we were building our new office space. The background was that we were lacking a working and gaming spot in our apartment upstairs. Let's start by entering how the cave looked before we started our renovation. Quite a mess, isn't it? But I believe many caves in the world just look like ours. Lots of storage things in various places, good memories with flags from the military, bottles, bikes, just so many different things. But you can see it has a high ceiling and that was key for us. Our first step consisted in taking down various things and donating a lot of stuff that we had in our cave. On a second step, we built 4 shelves with each a loading capacity of 175 kilos. These were positioned on each side of the cave. Luckily, 2 were already installed. Our next step consisted on creating the beams, each having 80 millimeters of diameter. This was also the first time that my kids joined in the help of building our cave. Both of them have been incredibly helpful in the creation of our special space. Their dedication and attention to details have been really inspiring throughout the work. I can only recommend everybody to involve their kids in such a project. It's a wonderful experience and at the end everybody is so proud what can be achieved as a family. Back to our project. Leveling the beams was really a crucial step to ensure that the floor was leveled at the end. Having a strong floor was absolutely necessary for safety. For this we used OSB lay plates. We cut them into the right sizes and fixed them on the beams that were laid out previously. Fixing them was great fun to do with the kids. We continued by installing parquet floor. We cut the pieces to the right size, but then actually realized that an insulation, or also called dam underlay, was necessary. So unfortunately I had to take out again all the floor and installed the insulation. Once the floor was finalized, we moved our attention to create our gaming desk. We drove to IKEA and bought the model Upsell. We initially thought this would be an easy build, but oh, we were wrong. It took us a long time to build this desk, and without the help of my son, I don't think I would have been able to finalize it. We also realized that the desk was too large and wouldn't fit into the space that we have available, so we had to cut on the side and reduced the size from 180 to 170 centimeters. Once the desk was finalized, we moved over to create a separation between the cave, office and the lower part. This was actually not only for safety reasons, so nobody could fall from the office space down to the cave, but it was also to create a shelf to store additional things later in the project. Installing the stairs and fixing them against the wall was probably the most frustrating thing in the entire project, so I cut this one short. Just be aware that it worked. Below the office space we created a small gym. Nevertheless, I want to highlight here that we created 4 additional beams to support the construction of the floor above. The most fun moments we probably had when we were painting all 3 together. This was so much fun and we took great pride in painting so many pieces of wood. Installing the OSB boards was definitely much harder than painting, and here, once again, without the help of the kids, I would have been unable to accomplish this task. They were just great in helping me to pull up the different boards and fix them against the roof. We continued to put the parquet floor against the OSB boards, so it would have a unified look at the end. We entered a part of our project where we realized that our planning was actually quite off. Having created the separation between the office and the cave, we were no longer able to bring large pieces of wood to the upper level. Those large pieces of wood nevertheless were necessary to create the separation between the office space and the other caves. We fixed those against the walls and installed sound panels on the left and the right side, as well as above the black wood panel. Fixing the sound panels against the concrete wall was another very fun element of our project. We used strong glue, smeared the glue on the panels, and then fixed the panels against the concrete wall. This was great fun, and we probably overdid it a little bit with the glue. At the end, the panels were holding, and so far they have never come down. Creating a separation wall on the upper level of the office was certainly one of the most challenging elements of our project. My dream was to have 2 TVs simulating windows when I was working down in the cave. Fixing them and aligning them exactly at the same height was a process that took a long time. Behind the TVs were an endless amount of cables. I'm running basically all the cables, connecting the computers, the TVs, the beamers, internet, as well as the sound system behind the TVs. As you can see here, both TVs were installed successfully. We then again as a team moved forward to install the beamer screen. Such a screen we will actually use when we are playing PlayStation with our beamer. Installing this one was a very heavy task and not easy to implement at all. I asked my son to give the cave a personal touch and was delighted that he was starting to draw his favorite Pokémons. Amazed by his drawing, we took great pride to put up the panel with all his favorite Pokémons. Again, not an easy task that we achieved together. It was then time to install the various electronical systems. My initial focus was on the mount of the different monitors. Having 3 monitors required a strong mount. Aligning these 3 different monitors was not an easy task. It took me quite some time to perfectly line up the 3 different monitors. At the end, however, I was successful. By the way, most of the product installed in our build will be featured in the comment section below. The 4th monitor, which at the same time is also my iMac, requested a special mount. My aim was to have a lift system, so I can drive up the iMac when needed and hide it behind the 3 other monitors when not in use. You will be able to see the final version towards the end of this video. It then came to a special task doing the cable management. Both of my kids and myself are big fans of Texors, and we will be entering the competition hopefully soon. We learned that cable management is one of the key elements of a successful build. And we do have definitely a lot of cables. we have one computer from Dell for working. We have one iMac that we use mainly for editing, and we have an additional external computer that my son built. We will see how he built that computer later in this video. In addition to all the computers, we have microphone, a stream deck, the Wave XLR, different cameras that we use for podcasting and video editing, and finally many LEDs. We continued the project with final touch of decoration. Installing the beamer at the ceiling, and also painting the sound panels to give a final touch. Before sharing the full overview of our build, a key element is still missing: the PC build, and it was Liam's job. I actually ordered the pieces that he required and let him do the rest. Seeing him build an entire computer at the age of 12 was truly inspiring. There were many challenging moments for Liam, and it took him quite some time to figure things out. He did know where to seek help online and watched many tutorials, proving that sharing builds help others. There was only one piece that didn't fit, and we were able to reorder the correct one and send the wrong one back. You can see that the little Iron Man inside the computer, bought in Japan, accompanied Liam during the entire build. All the information on the PC specs, such as CPU, GPU, RAM, storage, motherboard, PSU, as well as the information on the case, can be found in the description of the video. Liam plans to do a separate video on the entire build on a later stage. He is, however, ready to help in case you have any questions, either in the comments below or contact us via Facebook messengers on the Little Big Builder. At the end, a major issue remained, as the CPU temperature remained well above the limit. He continued to work on it to try to find a problem, and resolved it with ease. Seeing his face at the end of the build was wonderful. I was so proud that the computer turned on and looked just amazing. Well done, Liam. This brings our build to an end, and we hope you enjoyed the journey from a messy cave to a wonderful work and fun place. We will leave you with some impression of the final build and appreciate all thumbs up for our video. Thank you so much and stay tuned for our next build. Your Little Big Builders.